Welcome back, movie lovers. I'm Josh,
I'm Chris.
and with our powers combined, we are
Garner Brothers Movie Lovers.
All right, Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How was Halloween?
Oh, it was good. How was yours?
It was good. We went trick-or-treating at Mom and Dad's neighborhood. When we got to their house, I told all the kids to wait in the car for a second. And I was wearing a Michael Myers costume. And I went to Mom and Dad's door by myself with a bag of candy open. And I didn't even say anything. I just rang the doorbell and they opened the door. And just a full-grown man was trick-or-treating by himself in a Michael Myers costume. And I just stood there silently with this bag open, holding still, and Dad was wearing his pirate costume, but I could feel the disgust coming through him so strongly. And he just grabbed the candy and threw it in my bag. And I just stayed there. And then eventually I just started laughing and I took off my mask. It was pretty funny.
That's fantastic.
Welcome back. We're glad you could join us today when we review the movie The Marvels. The Marvels is a sequel to Captain Marvel. It has Carol Danvers, Rambo, what is her name?
Monica Rambeau.
And Kamala Khan, who are all previously seen in their respective movies, becoming a team for the first time, calling themselves the Marvels, as they fight against the Kree space bad guys.
Well, the film is directed by Nia DaCosta and stars Brie Larson, of course. And Teyonah Parris and Iman Vellani are the other Marvels. You also have Samuel L. Jackson, Zawe Ashton, maybe is how you say her name, and a bunch of other people.
What'd you think of the movie?
Well, I went into this movie with just the lowest expectations. I had heard just awful things. I'd heard people say it was the worst MCU film ever. I heard one guy say that. Yeah. Well, one reviewer said that if he was Kevin Feige and he watched this film the way it currently is, edited and everything together, he said he would have deemed it unreleasable. So when I heard that, I just thought, man, this is going to be horrible. So with those expectations, I went in and thought, it wasn't that bad.
That's kind of how I felt. I thought it was like a super average Marvel film.
I mean, it's not good.
As Captain Marvel, she was more likable in this movie. And because she didn't take herself so seriously, I was able to enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I really liked the way that their powers got entangled. That was super cool. And the first fight scene where that happens, it was such a wild and really cool fight scene. I really liked it a lot. That was probably the best part with that superpower entanglement.
Yeah. One of my problems with the film is they were never quite clear on why it would happen. Maybe it only happened when two of them were using their powers at exactly the same time or something like that.
They could have been better at explaining that.
Yeah, especially during the first fight. I was like, there is no consistency to this. Eventually, it kind of made a little more sense, but see, I'm still hazy on the rules for this. So Iman Vellani is by far my favorite part of this film.
Oh yeah, she's a delight. Very
Yes.
fun.
I really like her character, and I think that actress does a great job playing that character.
Yeah.
I was happy to see her here. I don't think she ever wears out her welcome. She's just happy to be there and really excited and brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm and naivete, and just really, it's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to bring up.
At one point, there's a planet they go to that I kind of liked. I can see why that planet would bother some people, so I think some people might find it annoying, but I found it entertaining.
Oh, this is something that I was going to leave for the stuff I didn't like.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Different strokes for different folks, but I thought it was kind of funny, and it didn't wear out its welcome because it didn't last terribly long.
Do we need to wait to talk about that in detail in the spoiler section?
I don't know.
I hate that I just asked that. That's such a stupid thing to be worried about spoiling.
Yeah, okay, so we can talk about it.
Okay, So they go to a planet where the people's language is singing, and they have this really weird and felt very forced to me musical scene where Captain Marvel's clothes magically change into princess clothes, and then she has a dance with the handsome prince and they're singing together, and I was like, what in the world is happening?
It is super random.
First she explains to the two girls who are having the same reaction I am, their language is singing, and so you have to kind of play along. And then she sings to the prince for like a while, and she's trying to communicate their dilemma to him about how the Kree army's coming to your planet and is going to kill everyone. But she's, taking her time to sing, and he's responding and singing and dancing. And then she says, we need to talk. And then he goes, okay. And I thought, if he could talk the whole time, why didn't you immediately tell him what was going on? Why did you stop to sing and dance?
So the musical number can happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that planet was random, but I laughed. I got a kick out of that scene. But I can totally see why it would bother people. I also didn't mind. I mean, I kind of laughed a lot during the evacuation of the space station.
Oh, I actually loved that scene a lot.
That one we maybe don't want to spoil.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit
It's
more
fun.
in the spoiler section, I guess. It is very funny.
Kind of clever.
It is. It was clever.
Yeah.
I liked everything Sam Jackson had to do in this movie, actually. Whenever he was trying to figure out why the girls kept on changing, and his first reaction to meeting Kamala Khan, and then having that shootout with those bad guys, and they keep teleporting new bad guys in there, and then the evacuation at the end, and all those weird things that show up on his ship.
I will say that this Samuel L. Jackson didn't seem to bear any resemblance whatsoever to the one from the series that they just did. What was that? Secret Invasion or whatever? Like, he might as well be a totally different character. But whatever.
One of the complaints I had about the first movie was that they kept saying that she was too emotional and that she needed to control her emotions. But she never showed any emotion.
Right.
Well, in this movie, she tries to show emotion a few times, and I did not buy it at all.
No.
Anytime she tried to show emotion.
No.
It was super cringy and bad.
Yeah.
Is this weird to say because Brie Larson has an Academy Award?
Apparently, she's a good actress. I didn't see that in this film. Maybe it's also partly, this story didn't exactly inspire her to, really get emotional, because the emotional scenes in this didn't feel earned in any way. And this is also on the director a bit.
You mentioned the story a little bit. I'll just say it's one of the most cliched bad guy storyline endings I've ever seen in a movie ever. And I'll talk about that in spoilers more. I did like the stuff she was doing was interesting. The way she was sucking the atmosphere out of another planet because her planet was dying and she was getting what she needed to keep her planet alive from other places. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool and interesting, actually. Just the way it ends with her was so dumb. I don't feel very passionately bad about this movie or passionately good, so I don't really know what else to say. Do you have anything else you want to say?
So this movie's only 105 minutes long. It's one of Marvel's shortest films. It apparently underwent some pretty serious reshoots, and I think it shows. I think the movie is edited together not well.
It feels like it's so rushed. The whole movie is just flying.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have wanted them to slow it down at all. But there are connections that don't happen. What happened to the singing planet? Like, when you left there, it looked like the planet was going to get destroyed. What happened? Did it get destroyed? Did all those people die? I don't know what happened there.
They abandoned them, didn't they?
Yeah, they totally did. The first planet, they help everybody evacuate and stuff. But the second one, they just leave. Who knows what happened to those people? Maybe they all died. Maybe there is no more singing planet.
Her husband and the people she's supposed to
Yeah, she's their princess. Now they're all gone.
And she's just like, see you later.
So there's a lot of plot problems in the movie. There's a ton of holes, things that aren't explained. It felt like a patched together movie, and it probably is. And okay, whatever.
I also wanted to say that there's a lot of talking down to the audience in this movie where something will happen and we all see it happen and we all know what's happening. And then someone smart will say something like,
"It appears that the overabundance of luminescence-based abilities produced from the bracelets, combined with the power of her celestial hammer, has unlocked the interdimensional gateway to a divergent reality."
And then everyone looks at that person like, what did you just say? And then she says, "She opened the space-time continuum, man." And you're like, I know that. You showed it to me and then you told me twice. And it felt really unnecessary. And that happened a lot. It's just annoying. I might be running out of stuff to talk about. Do you have anything else?
Except this. The fact that we don't really care enough about this movie to like really drum up enough to say good or bad about it, like, just tells you something about where the MCU is at right now.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, once upon a time, we would have been like, this is so sad. Like, look at what the MCU has fallen to. And right now we're like, hey, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. That's where we've come to. The MCU used to have hit after hit after hit. It was awesome. And occasionally they would have a movie that was less good than the others. But now it's like sometimes they have a movie that's pretty good. Now I'm happy when it's not bad. And that's where we've come to. So shame on you, MCU. You've ruined everything.
Kevin Feige, you have joined the dark side. I'm calling upon you now. Use the time stones to go back and fix the MCU.
For real.
Okay, well, I guess it's time to rate this movie. It's time for Good, Fine, Bad.
Good! Fine. Good. Bad. Ugh.
Fine.
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
If this is your first time joining us, the way we rate things, a scale of good, fine, and bad. If a movie is good, we recommend you go see it in theaters. If a movie is fine, you can go see it in theaters if you want, but we don't think you need to. And if the movie is bad, don't go see this movie in theaters. With that being said, Chris, good, fine, bad.
I'm going to go with fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fine as well. It is just the most milquetoast movie I don't care about. So.
Well, if somebody said it was bad, I would have no problem with that. Like, it's not a good movie, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So there you have it.
Thank you for making it this far. We're going to talk spoilers now, and if you don't want to be spoiled for this dumb movie that nobody cares about, then go away. This is a dumb movie. Don't feel bad about being spoiled for this movie. But you can go away if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to describe to you the way that they decided to destroy the bad guy. The bad guy throughout the movie has a powerful bracelet because Marvel loves their powerful bracelets. They all have powerful bracelets. She needs 2 powerful bracelets. But when she gets the 2 powerful bracelets, suddenly it's too much power. And then she explodes into oblivion. It's so dumb. And not only that, she's this powerful being from space. She puts on both the bracelets and explodes. And then literally 2 seconds later, Kamala Khan puts both bracelets on. And apparently she's fine. I don't know why she exploded with power. Too much power. I don't know why that happened. Doesn't make sense to me.
Or why Kamala Khan doesn't explode with
Exactly.
all the power. I don't know what happened to that other bracelet either. A Flurkin probably ate it. Which brings us to the evacuation of the space station, which made me laugh more than once. When the guy over the PA is like, "Please do not run. Let the Flurkin eat you."
And that really happy song is playing while everyone's running in slow motion and these tentacles are coming out of these cats' mouths and swallowing them up.
Yeah.
Was really, really quite funny.
Oh, and do you know what song that was?
No.
It's Memory from the musical Cats.
Oh my gosh!
That scene's even funnier if you know that music.
That is really funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was a clever way to get everybody off the space station. I thought it was a funny scene.
It was.
And of course, the big spoiler is what happens to Monica Rambeau in the other dimension in the mid-credits scene.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's talk about the first post-credit scene or mid-credit scene, because I hated it. It was really dumb.
Yeah.
So we have a scene where Hawkeye, the girl one, and she goes into her apartment, and then there's someone sitting in the shadows, and it's Kamala Khan, and she's like, "Did you think you were the only baby with superpowers? We're doing Avengers Babies. Are you going to join the Avengers Babies team?" And I was like, this is so dumb, I can't even stand it. So we're doing Avengers Babies, so get ready for that, everyone.
What are they gonna do? I mean, when is Samuel L. Jackson gonna be like, okay, this isn't an Avengers level threat, but we can send in the babies? When are they gonna use these guys?
Also, why is the first one she went to Hawkeye? Like, and then the second post-credit scene, I have very mixed feelings about this. My last hope for the MCU is that Kevin Feige has been planning what he wants to do with the X-Men, while he's just letting everyone do whatever the heck they want with these characters that nobody cares about. For the post-credit scene, so Monica Rambeau's in another dimension, the Beast is there.
And it's the 20th Century Fox X-Men, because that's Kelsey Grammer voicing the Beast.
Well, he looks very different.
He's computer animated now because Kelsey Grammer's like 75 years old.
It looks like they totally tried to design him, in my opinion, after the animated series. I liked the way it looked, except that it looked like it wasn't done yet. But in the past with the MCU, there's been a lot of janky looking post-credit scenes. If you remember the first time Thanos shows up, he does not look good.
He came a long way from there.
Yeah. And so for like a 2-minute clip post-credit scene, I liked where they were going with it. It just wasn't quite finished yet. But I love the X-Men, and I am worried. I'm so worried. I've been holding out hope that it will be good, and that's kind of my last hope for the MCU, but like, I don't know if I am confident that they're not just gonna suck everything up again. I want it to be good so bad, but I think I've lost all faith that they'll ever care as much about the MCU as they used to.
Yeah, I'm conflicted by that as well.
Anyway, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and comment below and let us know what you thought of the movie. And if you hate the MCU as much as we do now, maybe you like it. That's good for you, but you can't subscribe to our channel if you do.
That's right. We have a very high bar. Our 96 subscribers are all
This
very...
is exactly why we only have 96 subscribers, because people keep on trying, and I ask them, do you like Phase 4 and 5 of the MCU? And if they say yes,
they're gone.
so many stupid people. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We're done now.
Pew, pew, pew.